I never write speeches. I just kind of show up and try to feel the moment, if you will. So bear with me. On the way over, my family couldn't be here, and my immediate family, your family. And my sister sent me a picture of the snowstorm everyone's been talking about in Michigan. And here we are. Alas, the sun shines on Vietnam veterans. It's about time. So let the snow and the rain and the weather go where it may. You know, today, here's our day. I was going to wear my uniform today, but I couldn't fit the damn thing on. Those of you who have served know that when you go up and look in the closet, get that uniform, you get all excited and proud, you want to wear it. I don't know what it is. I think the material shrinks. Something happens, but not even close. Unbelievable. I want to thank basically everybody. Brothers and sisters, Vietnam veterans that are here with us today. Veterans, GIs in uniform, friends and family, all the loved and lost. It's amazing that here we are again, right? Another war for whatever reason, but it happens. One of the things that's unique about today, and I want to distinguish this the right way because today is unique in general. Another great thing about our country, isn't that fantastic? Hopefully, whoever that is, they're okay. Well, everybody here is distinguished without a doubt, but we also know that the Medal of Honor is given out for those that really go above and beyond the call of duty. And this year is unique because it marks the first Medal of Honor winner to be inducted. And that's First Sergeant McNerney and his family. Some of the family are here today. This First Sergeant, a pretty amazing human being, Korean War veteran, has multiple tours in Vietnam. And like all the Medal of Honors, when you read them, it's just staggering, right? I mean, it's just amazing. And what people go through on behalf of others. Blown up by a grenade, just keeps going back, time after time after time to save the other people around them. So the First Sergeant is being remembered today. Yeah, he was 79, and like I said, a Korean War vet, multiple tours in Vietnam. And it's an honor to be able to stand up here today and talk about him, but also to represent everybody that's here today. It's people like the First Sergeant who were there for my dad when he was a private in Vietnam in 1965 and 1966. The World War II vets that were here for him. He was here for the Vietnam veterans. And then the Vietnam veterans have been here for my generation, what I call the post-Vietnam generation, ages roughly 40 to 50. All the veterans that stood up for us, made sure we had what we needed to get going, and allowed me and people like me to get into business, to be able to provide opportunity for these kids coming back. It's one succession after another, right? We're talking about these red stripes on our flag and what they mean and what they represent and the goods that go on and on and on from generation to generation to generation. And although my dad, gave up the fight 10 years ago, he bestowed upon us the tools, needed to survive, if you will. And now I have them, and I was able to serve the country and create a business and do some of the other things that they talked about just a minute ago. And it's really what it's about. It's really what brings this country together. I remember about 20 years ago, the first time I came to the Vietnam Memorial. The president decided that one Ranger company alone needed to go to the Horn of Africa, and this was memorialized in the movie Black Hawk Down. And this was Bravo Company, 3rd Ranger Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, and I was from that company, and I lost a lot of brothers during that conflict. And I'd come up here, if you will, in uniform with one of my other Ranger buddies, and we were here to check on our friends that were in Walter Reed Hospital. And one of them was a little mobile, and we were able to put him in a wheelchair, and he had his leg shot off. And we decided we were going to go to Arlington and take a look at the memorial, et cetera, et cetera. And his father was with us. One of my buddies, who's now the command sergeant major of the Ranger Regiment, his father was with us, and they were World War II and Korea veterans. And my dad was with us, and he was a Vietnam veteran. He was the only Vietnam veteran. And we took the metro, got off at the Smithsonian, and walked up to the Washington Memorial and started walking down the mall, just like we are here today. And none of us had been to the Vietnam Memorial. And it just kind of hit us, like a brick. I mean, it was just, here I am pushing John. I'm in uniform. John's missing a leg. We've lost lots of guys. Walter Reed's filled with our brothers. And, that's all you can think about, right? And then you come around the corner and you see this staggering sight with over 60,000 names on it. It's just unbelievable. And my dad at this time was not quite on oxygen, but he could barely walk. It took a long time. It was a long, silent journey all the way down to the mall. At that time, they had people working around the kiosks, if you will, and you could go up and say, Bob, Nebraska, 6'2", Italian, 1965. And the computer would print stuff off, and you could try to go find who those people were. So my dad ended up with this stack of papers. And we just kind of had to stand back because there was nothing... we felt the moment, but, none of us were Vietnam veterans, and we just kind of had to stand in the corner. And so I kind of remember, if you remember Linus and the Peanuts cartoon, he kind of was always walking along, dragging that blanket with his head like this. That's how my dad was with this list, and he just kept going through it. And the list ended up being, it seems like it was like 10 feet long, dragging like a tail. And he just kept looking through it. And another computer printout page would go, and he'd look for a name. And we were kind of watching him from afar. And this took 2 hours. 2 hours. And he finally found someone. Finally found somebody he was looking for. It was a really, defining moment, if you will. And then he came back over to us. And Sergeant Burns, who was still gung-ho and good to go, missing a leg, lost 6 men in action. And just kind of taken in by the warrior spirit, if you will, said to my dad, he said, "So, Mr. Campanaro, what do you think?" And my dad was stunned by that. And he said, What do I think?" He reflected, and then he said, "I think I'm glad I'm not on the goldarn thing." He didn't exactly say that. It was a wee bit more colorful. But I think you can appreciate what he was trying to say. I think I'm glad I'm not on the damn thing. And really he is, right? That's what we're all here for today. And that was a very strange scenario. And he pulled me off to the side over to the statue where the 3 guys were. And he said to me, he said, "What are you doing, Frank?" And I'm at position of attention. I'm gung-ho and good to go. And he said, there is a time for war, but there's a time for peace too. And I want you to consider how you can serve this country in other ways. And maybe you consider getting out before it's too late, before you're a name, on a plaque, and see what you can do for our people. And thus began my journey, if you will. Actually, I was medically retired anyway, so I had no choice. And I've recovered, I'm fortunate. And that's kind of how my journey began, roughly 20 years ago, to try to make a difference, like everybody does, like the NCOAA, the Memorial Foundation, and those that have helped us be here today. Usually, I like to give a pretty unique, energetic, and kind of a wild speech, if you will, when I talk about stuff. But I don't want to do that today. I want to maintain the sacredness and the somberness, if you will, in a good way of why we're here today. And I want to keep it short. The good Lord said that there will be wars and rumors of wars till the end of time. And I think that's true. But it's not just war as we know it. I think it's internal wars, the little wars that all of us fight based on these people here and those right there, and the other, right? We got the Korea over here in World War II and Iwo Jima across the river. These wars we all fight. And we fight them as individuals, we fight them as a family, we fight them as patriots. And we're reminded by these memorials of those who have gone before us, but we're also really reminded by the colors and the flag, right? Primarily the red colors and the flag, the stripes. I mean, right here, think of the battle over the last 250 years to get us to where we are today. So, unfortunately, some of us pay the ultimate price, and some of us are associated with those that do. And I just want to say that I'm honored to be able to speak here today. And I want to say go easy, bros, to all of our brothers and sisters who didn't make it. And God bless all you guys for all that you do to try to keep the memory alive so we don't forget what it takes to make a nation great. And thanks a lot for letting me speak today, truly. Good day.